Is that a sword in your pants? Or you were just excited to see me? Ha! Even on the weekends, baby dolls, we don't stop. You and I are going to be doom scrolling Twitter. I want to see what's happening right now. The front end of the curve. The Ether machine. Ethereum has over 15 million weekly addresses, and layer 2 dominance continues to grow. And speak about growing, I better not say it. It's family friendly. Ethereum's dominance is undisputed. The asset is meth. The yield is the Ether machine. And the ticker is Dinks. We are institutional Ethereum. So, this is the thing, friends. Ethereum has strong fundamentals. Okay? But fundamentals, like, they sound like solid and great. Problem is, it doesn't stop positioning from changing. So you can have the best fundamentals in the world, but if the market is positioned you to have the best fundamentals in the world, you don't get much edge. And if the world changes, all of you are positioned for the favorite, and then you get dunked on. Okay. So, but fundamentals are great because when big dips happen, right? Even though most of the Ethereum maxis literally just disappeared at the bottoms, and then ChatGPT comes out and says, your friend Sommi, who is very excited to see you, is Ethereum's secret weapon, calling everybody else a cuck. But do you understand how many Bitcoin backsies blocked me? Yeah, do you know a lot of them blocked me? And friends, I didn't go around, like, I didn't do anything that was nasty or anything, yeah? All I did was I showed them the ETH BTC chart on a log chart. I'll show you what I did. Because they were zooming into the ETH BTC, they go, oh, look, Ethereum is so weak. Did I tell you about Ethereum being weak? They'd show you, what they'll do, friends, is they'd zoom into this. You know what I mean? They just zoom into that, you know? But what I'd do is I'd say, stop being a pussy, man. Stop being a pussy. Show the real chart. Show the real chart. Why don't they show that real chart, friends? Because if you show that real chart, this looks like there's a party in my pants and everyone's invited. That's why they don't do that, man. But that's when you realize, man, everyone in crypto, it's about perception, about showing you like who's winning. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to, friends. I mean, this is pretty much it. Okay, it's wild, right? Because we're all just like throwing words in the air, and humans, and we're absorbing stuff, and we're trying to convince people to stay in my team. We're the best. We're gonna have fun. But then it's hard because then you see other coins moving. But you know, it is what it is. That's the game. Have you guys liked the word flywheel? I will continue using this word anytime it's clear my project is fading to irrelevance. No, we won't be implementing one. Just saying the word again. What are you talking about, bro? This yeah, but look. Okay. I love you guys, but look, friends, I don't know how else to say it. And I want to apologize to dogs out there because I love dogs. I'm a dog whisperer, okay? Most of your posts are actually dog shit. All right? They do these like random innuendo jokes that nobody gets on Twitter. I get it. You know what I mean? It's a gift. It's a skill. You got to learn it. But yeah, this is what you have to sift through Twitter, okay? Let's check out blue-pilled, Masail-controlled Grok. Grok just said Bitcoin's going to $25 million by 2046. Yeah, man. Look, they're just using their own like linear extrapolation models and like it doesn't know shit. You know what I mean? Firstly, Grok thinks the third tower fell by itself. Grok thinks that the Epstein Island doesn't exist, right? Grok thinks that, you know, just it's blue-pilled cuck stuff. You know what I mean? And the mathematics and how everything grows and all these forecasts, it's just copium. Bashara, someone sent me the next Pepe at 5 million. Instant block. There's no next Mog or Pepe. Yeah, it is true though. Like they have Very sticky network effects. My barber's got MOG as well. And it's just, yeah, they're very, very sticky. Thinking about the MOG glasses. We have MOG on Pulse Chain. So it's really hard to create culture, you know what I mean? And actually make it infuse. And there's like thousands of other coins, right? Here is the Coinbase Jesse Powell. Existing trading tools will be disintermediated if they don't provide best-in-class access to coins coming from Coinbase and Zora. So here is his presentation here. I think this is Jesse.
Best-in-class trading tools with things like Altcoinist and Definitive. Best-in-class.
Yeah, so in his Coinbase presentation, it was very like... It's like you spend a Friday night, he got a tissue box, Vaseline, and he just watched Steve Jobs interviews. Well, you know when Steve Jobs walk around and he's like, welcome to the revolution. Coinbase, friends, Coinbase, I know they're popular and they're big and, you know, Brian's bold and everything, but Coinbase is, they're trying to be like a little mini Apple. And I just like, obviously, friends, I don't know shit, okay? They're the ones with the billionaires. They're the ones with the unicorn. I'm wearing a Pokemon hoodie. Yeah, I've got a nice Link from Legend of Zelda hat. I get it. So my opinion means nothing. But when I'm looking at it, I'll tell Jesse, I'll go, look, man, I didn't even crack half a chub. I'll be honest. It reminds me of like, you know, like Apple, right? We all have iPhones and phones and stuff. Man, they made that in like, what, 2005 or something? It's been a long time, bro. It's been like 20 years, you know, like that's Web 2 stuff. Now, then you might ask me, Sommi, what's the next stuff? I'll go, look around you, bro. Look around you. We are bleeding edge. Okay, we make the trends. You get it? We don't need to go to look for Web 2, right? Silicon Valley, that stuff for culture. They're boring. They don't make culture, man. We're the culture. Okay? We are the bleeding edge. We are the Mavericks. You know, we're the ones we push the edge. But all of us are a bit different, a bit special. You know what I mean? And by special, I mean, you know, probably halfway to freaking mental asylum. You know what I mean? So, and what does that really mean? Memes, cults, religions. That's it. Okay? I made the Bible. I created it. No one else is talking about it. Everyone else gets it wrong. Every time I listen to a Bitcoin Maxi or an Ethereum Maxi or a Soy Maxi, they get it totally wrong. Fundamentals and transactions and narrative. Wrong, bro. Memes, cults, religions. And I didn't invent it. I just looked at Bitcoin and Doge, the most successful freaking networks in cryptocurrency then. It's got nothing to do with the tech. Infuse an energy into the chain that makes people want to stay even when it doesn't have the fastest tech. Okay? You know, everything in life works like that, friends. You know? Maybe some of you have daughters. Wouldn't it be nice to teach a daughter like, hey, you know, like, maybe there's just a way to date on the scene that makes someone want to keep you around longer than one night. You see what I mean? Like we all do that, friends. We all do that. What about when you're working at an office? Same thing. Okay, it's the same thing in crypto. The thing is, we don't have the formula yet. Okay, we are the formula. We're showing the formula. Let's continue. Here is Crypto T. I think this is the girl. She always shows her boobies in her profile pic. Let's see. Here she is. I'm sure there's a booby shot somewhere. If I just skip. If you scroll down, there's somewhere. Getting closer. Getting closer. Someone else's boobies. Man, it's so easy being a girl here. Jeez. Getting closer.
A lot of people are seeing Bitcoin hit a new all-time high today, and they think that they're late to Bitcoin. But I just want to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right, friends. But like, when the Bitcoin dominance goes down, you will say, wow, Sommi, you're right. Humans are humans. Okay? Friends, they're just dick riders. Okay? They're cheering green candles. And everyone is very expressive in the different ways they do it. Art, culture, essays, books. It'll surprise you. I saw it, man. Friends, I was here last cycle. You know, friends, I remember the day Bitcoin dominance started crashing in 2021. Yeah. You know, all the Bitcoin maxis went full silent. Completely silent. Yeah. And then once Michael Chad Saylor, 780 coin says, pew, 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 pew. He had like one of his 3-hour interviews and they asked him about it. And I was like on the edge of my seat thinking, oh, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? And you know what he said? He goes, oh, the Bitcoin dominance is actually 99%. What? No, it's not. I'll show you, friends. I'll show you. This is just the mental gymnastics. Just teach you everything about everything you need to know. I'll show you the Bitcoin dominance. He said, oh no, the real Bitcoin dominance is 99%. So what he was doing was he was literally watching Bitcoin dominance fall off the face of the earth. He goes, oh, the Bitcoin dominance is 99%. He goes, there are just different category. He goes, the real Bitcoin dominance is you measure Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And Bitcoin is 99% of it. That's how him and Max Kaiser were talking. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're never selling. They're never selling, which is good, which means like there'll be no price too expensive for them. And so begins the cycle. Here is Sassels. A few hours ago, Sharp Stink transferred 145 million USDC to Galaxy Digital's OTC desk. We all know what they're buying. The ticker is ETH. I figured out who's been selling ETH. They need the cash, but no one else. But anything else they own. Prove me wrong. Interesting. Bare Naked Crypto. So does everyone agree that seeing Satoshi era wallets selling off tons of Bitcoin is kind of weird, right? That's very standard. Every single crypto cycle, long-term hold the supply, distribute into retailers. Actually, in this cycle, they haven't been distributing to retailers. They've been distributing into other long-term new entry buyers into BTC. Now, shout out to Durty Crypto, not to be confused with Mr. Clean Crypto. He posted this picture just from Hex Maxis. Pulse Chain Peter, this clip is not going to age well. We are just crazy loon birds. Let's listen.
You know, you have the Solana, but they.
Man, Dave probably doesn't even know any of this shit. So like, you know, this. So when Pulse forks from Ethereum, you got copies of everything that was on Ethereum, right? So like, there's an insane group of Pulse people. Like these people are even more cult-like and insane than we are over here. And they believe that the forked copied version of pDAI, you know, it's like a copy.
I read about that.
Is gonna fucking peg to $1. They believe it's going to $1, dog. And they will fight you. They will fight you on the internet with their hands and mouths and everything that they can throw at you to make you believe that somehow 40 billion fucking tokens are going to somehow magically be worth $1. You know, even though some dude figured out a printing error in amidst all this and doubled the supply and just dumped on all these kids' heads, they still were like, this is all part of Richard's master plan. Yeah. Dude, they have like pictures of his tweets where they erase a bunch of letters and circle other ones and then make up fucking made up messages from his tweets and shit. They're loco en la cabeza. And like, it's incredible to watch. It's like, you're just like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Well, the thing I like about, I gotta say,
listen, half those guys have been blocked. Let's go. Like, by the way, friends, what I'm showing you the next part, it's from a place of love and friendship. Okay? I'm not here to purposefully pulverize and squish and disintegrate anybody. Okay? But I'm gonna say it kindly and gently. And my nipples are going to be pegged as I do it. So, it's funny, friends, these gentle sirs are in Hex. Do you understand everything they're saying about pDAI? Do you understand 99% of the crypto industry was warning them that Hex was going to collapse? And they were all right? I mean, I just want to... I want to show you, friends, I have Hex. I love Hex. I'm bullish on Hex. But let's look at the facts, okay? They are calling another coin like weed and skits and like saying, oh, you guys are crazy as shit. This is their chart. This is their chart. Okay? This is literally their chart. Do you want me to do the number? So friends, your coin is down. This is our coin. This is down 99.4%. Did you know right now, you know Luna, the poster child for the bear market? If you held Luna from the top, you have more money than Hex. Yep, because Luna got an airdrop. So the Luna market cap, it's only down like 98% or something. So you know, Crypto Banter, shout out to Randy Boo. He had 100 million at the top. Yeah, he still got 2 million of that. I think he just rotated into soy and other stuff out here. So you've actually got more money in Luna. The failed Ponzi algo coin. The poster child of the whole industry went to zero. The heart attack, the coin that gave everybody a heart attack for how bad something can go down. You've actually got more money holding that than Hex right now. Wild. But they're from this coin, bro. I'm from this coin. Like, why are you pointing fingers? But rhetorical question, okay? I know where they're pointing fingers. The blasphemy, okay? That fans, they don't give a shit about Hex and the $1 target. They give a shit that Richard's name is thrown around here. Because these guys came from WarLord Richard time, okay? Let me show you what happened. These guys took a chance. They got into Hex Adoption Amplifier. Richard dunks the shit out of it, 98%, gets them all out, and then does the hockey stick, and then they get glory, and then they delay gratification. But actually, that's a load of shit because their delaying gratification was simply 15 months and you went up only. But we've been holding 4.5 years. We're still down and everything. You know what I mean? So you see what I mean? So like, this is the world they're coming from. Now I'm going to gently penetrate you with something. I want to ask you a question. How much money do you think pDAI needs to hit $1? Okay. You want to know the answer? Anywhere from 8 to 12 billion. Okay. Do you want to know how much money of market cap Hex needs to hit their targets? So compare that number, 12 billion. Hex needs 480 billion market cap to hit that $2 mark. Or if you want to say $1, so for Hex to hit $1, 240 billion. Yeah. You've got to like almost flip Ethereum. And at that number, it's not like, oh, now let's get there and sell 99%. What does that do? You just keep failing over and over again. You know, the yield, friends, you know, if Hex was giving a couple of percent yield, do you want to tell you how much? By the way, you're probably saying, Sommi, did you remove the origin address? Yes, I did. That's without the origin address. This is why I'm like, you know, your coin and the number you think you're definitely going to, you literally need an injection of, even at $1, you need 20 times more money to sustain it there. Right, and then you go further and I ask everybody, hey, but you didn't care about the sustaining part because you want to dump at $1, walk away and come back in the next bear market and then like walk away from this forever. You made your money. I see all your tweets. Friends, I'm a peanut brain. I peg my own nipples on the internet. Okay, there is nothing normal about me. Do you think Richard Hart doesn't read all your tweets? He sees all your tweets. I see your tweets, bro. You guys can't wait to sell and get the fuck out. You think he doesn't know that? That's why I'm saying the potential for this, if this works out, will literally break crypto because then you have a cult that bootstraps a chain where the number will ping pong around $1. Maybe, I don't know, could go to zero. And so you have literally bought in people to hold for another 10 years. Because you're sitting in the stable coin, right? Hex dropped 99% in the last bear market. What's going to drop in the next one? You get it? But I understand where everyone's coming from, friends. Like, that's why I made my videos, because I want to know, why is it obvious to me and all these new people joining crypto through pDAI, new adoption, why can they see it and then other group can't? I gave you the answer, okay? The new people coming in, friends, you know when RH Maxi posts, like, hey, look at this amazing message from Richard Hart. Do you know what these people say? They go, bro, this is from 5 years ago. Can you make something new? Like, this is boring and old, bro. There's 50,000 new things going on. It's like totally irrelevant now. You know, that's how they feel. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, Bible lessons don't just stop learning just because we're in a new time. You can learn something from. But I'm just telling you, it just doesn't relate to them. But it relates to them, friends, because they had their XRP moment, friends. Do you ever wonder why does XRP still have an army? Why do they have an army, friends? Even though they have basically no tech and they got to copy paste everything. Well, I'll show you why they have an army. I investigated it. XRP has an army because in 1 year, it ran up 650x return. There you go. That's why they have an army, right? And they just ignore everything else. Are they right or they wrong? Doesn't matter. You know, XRP don't give a shit about DeFi, but, you know, because they got 650x return back then. But it's the same thing with Hex, bro. You guys got the 10,000x. You actually made it to the top. Unfortunately, though, comes all the way back at the bottom. And, like, just to throw, like, more salt in the wounds, and this is true, friends. You have, if you put your money into FTX and Celisus while Richard Hart told you not to, if you did that, you have more money than holding Hex today. And that's true. Like, I'm not gonna, that's true. What do you think that, man, that's a hard pill to swallow, right? It's very hard to swallow. I remember Eric Wall and Midget Alfred and everyone and Jordy Alexander shitting on Hex in 2022, right? Hex's price was 2.5 cents. And Bitcoin was 20K. Yeah. Bitcoin went up 6x. And then Hex has dropped 70% in 4 years, man. You see what I mean? So like I'm long. I'm bullish. Resurrection. I want this to pump as hard as everyone. I'm just telling you, how come all these facts are in front of you and then you're like, you know what? You guys are just a bit too crazy. This makes absolutely no sense. Like, it baffles me. It baffles me. But then again, it makes me more bullish because I'm in a blue ocean chain. Nobody gets it. If nobody gets it, that means the only thing left to do is the price to go up, and then you'll all start to get it. It's basically free money accumulation for me, assuming it doesn't go to zero for the third time. I also love for these gentle sirs, they focus on how, you know, obviously, friends, I don't believe all of the numerology stuff. I'm like, oh, there's a 5 here, and there's a 2 here, and there's a 7 here, and if you multiply them and divide them, and then you go to the calendar, you get 555, which means Richard is the guy who's actually controlling Justin's son, and he's bridging money over to Blast Chain. You know, all these conspiracy stuff. Yeah, but it's fun just to play, and they speculate and stuff on that. It's a sign that the community is there. That's what it is. It's a heartbeat. But what I love, look, God bless you guys. I know all you guys got me blocked and unfollowed. And just for everyone at home, do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Because the guy with the peg nipples and the rounded elbows, who's got a peanut brain, dared to use Richard Hart's decentralized exchange to buy the gravestone emojis and make a 20x and say, well, guess what? It's only just the beginning, and I'm not getting out. You know what I mean? That's pretty much why, friends. I got blocked. I don't give a shit about them, okay? Because, like, friends, I know how easy malleable you guys are. I'll just be honest, okay? You came for WarLord Richard. You know what WarLord Richard means? Richard says, hey, you're eating hamburgers today. You'll do it. You know? Richard says, you're wearing pink glitter pants today. You'll do it, okay? Richard says, oops, it seems like the Vietnamese kid has fixed the bug on the chain. Wow, this other new forked stablecoin might actually have its errors of the past. I wonder what's going on here. And every single one of you are gonna eat it up, okay? Sometimes I even think, I go, man, should I even tell them? And I'm like, nah, people don't believe. You don't believe because the price isn't up, you know? I don't know if I'd be saying this if pDAI was 25 cents. Right now it's at 0.5 cents. You see what I mean? The price dictates all. By the way, you know who I learned that off? The man who used to live on top of a sandwich shop. That's how I learned that off, right? So, like I say, friends, my policy, right? I love all the core coins, okay? But I look for uncertainty, yeah? Out of like, if you think about how risky pulse chain core coins are compared to the rest of the crypto industry, they're very risky, yeah? Let's say at a level of 0, not risky, and 10 risky, they're about a 7. Yeah, really risky. But really risky means high upside, you know? pDAI is a 10, bro. pDAI is a 10. You know, it's got even more asymmetric uncertainty. I never say pDAI or these. I say I like and right? I don't give a shit. And look, friends, I've seen... Just listen. You watch WarLord Richard, go study his actions, bro. He knows how the game works, okay? Last thing I'll show you is, okay? I'm just going to give you one snippet. I'm not going to spoil everything for you. I'll give you one snippet. Do you remember at the end of 2023 how every single one of you couldn't wait to write an essay, gym rat crypto style, about how we failed, Richard's fat, nothing's going on, the chain sucks. And then, just like magic, one green candle appeared in the 8th of January, 2024. And all the criticisms, all the hatred, all the doubt washed away. And I remember waking up that day and I read so many essays from you. Corey Spaghetti Meatballs, Toby, just so many of you were like, thank you, Richard. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for doubting you, my lord. Thank you. Thank you. And I just like, that's why I make my videos, friends. We have fun. We have fun. Bro, it was a fucking green candle on the screen. It was a green candle on the screen. Now, if I figured that out, what do you think the guy who's trying to become a trillionaire is thinking about? Huh? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But I'm not going to wait for Richard to message me, if ever, to tell me what the hell is going on. Because I'm a believer. Okay? I'm long now, just like how when you guys were in early Hex, despite everybody calling it a Ponzi, you guys believed. Yeah? You guys, when it was down here and you guys were buying, right? You didn't need Richard to announce a new chain. You didn't need Richard to have another 50 debates. You didn't need Richard to, pretty much spice it up and get it to 10,000x before you respected him. You guys took infinite risk. And guess what? You deserve the infinite reward. I'm just telling you, bro. You guys are a different breed now. You know the game. Okay? Richard had to level up the game. Okay? And he freaking leveled it up all right. I mean, he sent this thing to 0 twice, bro. You know what I mean? He sent it to 0 twice. Or I'm just going crazy. Could go to 0. And we're all making it up. Let me know what you think. Catch you soon.